When you go through check-in, you'll receive the key to your room. This key, it's actually like a credit card that you slide into your cabin door to unlock it, but it also does a lot more. It is also linked to your shipboard account, and you'll use your room key just like a credit card to charge items to your account. No matter if you are buying a drink or a souvenir on one of the ships, you'll use this card to pay. The only time you'll use cash is when you are off the ship in port or if you want to gamble on board. This is much more convenient than having to carry around dollar bills. Just be sure to keep a close hold on that card. Wondering if you should get an interior cabin or a balcony room? Don't sweat it. Balconies, they are great, but there are some big advantages for interior cabins. As a first-time cruiser, it's doubtful that you'll be spending much time in your room anyway, especially if you are taking a shorter cruise, as you will want to be out and about exploring. Having an interior cabin is a cheaper way to get on your first sailing without breaking the bank. When you prepare for your cruise, you're either assigned a boarding time or you get to choose one. Cruise lines designate a boarding time to avoid having everyone arrive at the port all at once to get on the ship. When boarding is open, many people try to get there as early as possible, leading to extremely long lines to get on the ship right at the start of boarding. Spreading out passengers helps to keep any one person from having to wait too long. What you don't want to do is to show up before your boarding time. Sure, you might be able to board early as they aren't usually too strict on timing, but you'll add to the crowds, and there's also the likelihood that you'll be asked to wait until your designated time. That means that you'll just be hanging outside the terminal until you're finally allowed inside. One nice thing about cruises is that on many trips, they allow you to sail with only a birth certificate and a photo ID if the cruise begins and ends at the same port. If you don't have a passport, you can still leave the country and don't have to go through the hassle and the expense of obtaining one. Even so, it is much smarter to sail with a passport. Not only does it come in handy should you need to leave the ship early due to an emergency, but it can also save you time. These days, many ports use facial recognition that's matched with your passport photo for re-entering the country. You snap a photo and you're on your way out the terminal. Those with birth certificates, sometimes they still wait in line to be checked by a CBP officer. Headed to the Caribbean, it's likely that you'll visit several countries with several different currencies within just a few days. The good news is, you don't have to think about converting currencies at each port. These ports that you visit, they thrive on tourism and make things easy for cruise passengers. They will all gladly accept US dollars and often take credit cards too. Just bring some smaller bills for your port days and you'll be all set.